Doc on the Run. We help injured runners run.
4 ways to modify push-ups and plank poses when you have hallux rigidus and it's irritating you when you run. Now, recently I had a conversation with a guy who's a runner, and he was saying that his coach had given him a number of exercises to do to sort of supplement his core fitness and try to build in a little extra fitness to supplement his overall running fitness. And he has a condition called hallux rigidus, or sometimes called hallux limitus, where the big toe joint is stiff and it kind of hurts when you jam it, and once it gets flared up, it kind of hurts when you're walking, running, even if you're sitting around. And push-ups and plank poses really put a huge amount of force on the big toe joint because it bends it and forces it upward and makes it jam the big toe joint, and really can irritate the cartilage and the synovial tissue lining the inside of the joint in a way that just won't let it calm down, and then it hurts even when you're running. So you have to do something to take the stress off of that, and the key is you have to stop jamming the joint. So there are really 4 things that you can do. All of them are different. You can try any of them, but all of them can help really reduce the amount of jamming of the big toe joint when you're doing push-ups or planks and you're trying to maintain your core fitness as a runner. The first thing is that, let's say you have only one foot that hurts, that you only have this pain and irritation in your right foot. Well, you can cross your legs. So if you get that foot off the ground when you're doing push-ups or planks, it's not going to hurt. You're not going to jam the joint. So the way to do that is to put your feet in the normal position, and as soon as you're in the push-up or plank position, you pick up your right foot and cross your legs so that it's on top of your left foot. Now, it's harder to balance, so if you want to maintain your core fitness, this will help because it's a much tougher exercise than doing it with both feet on the ground in the normal position. But in this case, you're basically doubling the amount of force on your left foot, so you have to be cautious because you could just irritate the left foot, and then you might have the problem on both. But you can experiment with this and try that as one option. Second option is to put the front of your shins or your feet on a Pilates ball. Now, this is also going to make the exercise more difficult because you're going to be rolling and moving a little bit with your feet on a flexible ball while you're trying to do push-ups or planks. And it also increases the angle, so your feet may be pretty high up, and it puts more force on your upper extremities and your core when you're doing it. But that is one way to do it. Another way, if you don't like that instability, is to put your shins and the front of your ankles on a bench, like a workout bench, and then you just do your push-ups and planks the normal way. A lot of people don't like this because it decreases the leverage, so it feels a lot easier than doing it the normal way, but it will relieve all the pressure on the big toe joint. And the third way is actually my favorite way. So this is to maintain a more normal plank or push-up position, but change the position of your feet. All you have to do is basically put your feet in a sort of pigeon-toed tilting direction. Effectively what you're doing is you're supinating the foot, is the biomechanical term, but all you're doing is you're basically keeping your toes in and your heels way out. And when you do that, it shifts all the forces onto the other toes and the lesser metatarsal bones, but away from the big toe joint, and it alleviates the force in the big toe joint because when you tilt your heels out and keep your toes in when you're in that push-up position, you don't have to put nearly as much force through the big toe joint because you're barely bending the big toe at all. So you can see when you actually get down in that position, if your feet are straight, your heels are together, your toes are together, your feet are parallel to each other, there's a huge amount of bending force that goes through the big toe joint. But as soon as you actually tilt your heels way out away from there, it relaxes the big toe joints, takes a lot of stress off the big toe joints, and decreases the jamming in the big toe joint that can contribute to irritation when you have hallux limitus or hallux rigidus. Now, the big key is if you have hallux limitus or hallux rigidus, you don't have to stop running, but you have to stop the irritation in the big toe joint. So look at the exercises you're doing, and when you can, modify those exercises to decrease the motion, decrease the jamming, and decrease the irritation so you can keep running.
Doc on the Run. We help injured runners run.